Now we're going to start fourth part of the Manhwa. Let's start then. What the hell? Be clear about yourself, you stupid system. You're not some food truck, and they're Lisa innocent tofu. And system notifies, negative feelings from Luo Xiao 59, and she covers her nose and asks, did you just poop in your pants? He tells, that smells totally different, okay? She asks, stinky tofu, that smells really stinky, and they both take a piece each and taste it. Luo Xiao shouts, it's yummy, and Luo Shu deeply thinks and shouts, with angry face, so, it's just normal stinky tofu. Luo Xiao tells him, well, I guess your superpower is that, you can summon food. Come on, Luo Shu. I want pancakes. He asks, are you really considering me as a food truck? And he tells, burning inside but still wears a fake smile, I just can't stop trying. Let's take another shot. He feasts the entire room with stinky tofu, and thinks, well, I see, it's using stinky tofu to replace thank you for participating. Why is it so hard to be awakened? In his backside, Luo Xiao asks, you know this is the best stinky food that I ever had. It's better than those on sale. He suddenly realizes and thinks, on sales, and tells, you're smart, Luo Xiao. In the morning, he collects negative feelings from roadside, because the smell of stinky tofu, and everyone disgusted about it. Uncle Wang asks, Luo Shu, did I do anything wrong recently? He asks, what are you talking about? Uncle Wang, you helped us a lot. Luo Xiao and I are very grateful. It's just, the stinky tofu I made are really delicious. Would you like to try some? Uncle Wang eats with disgusting face, and asks, when did you learn how to make stinky tofu? It smells rather, while saying those words and he realizes, it tastes so fresh and crispy. Its fragrance exploded in my mouth at the very first bite, with the perfect sauce. I feel that it brought me into heaven. Uncle Wang says, you're really good at it, Luo Shu. It'll make a great business. He says, I'll be selling stinky tofu starting today. You should continue selling tea and eggs. A year ago you stopped selling tea eggs in order not to compete with us. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Uncle Wang says, don't mention it. Life isn't easy for you, and your little sister, it's the right thing to do to take care of you when I can. It's really nice that you remember it. And he smiles, and looks at the roadside and shouts, 5 yuan for each portion of stinky tofu. Buy some and try it out. You won't regret your decision. Everyone sees and feels disgusted. After quite some time passes, he goes to school and thinks, selling stinky tofu earns me the money and a huge amount of negative feelings. It's a win-win business, and smiles to himself. A student talks about Luo Shu. I heard that Luo Shu physique ranks the last in our class. Is that true? Another one says, he barely made it into the vital class. Maybe he'll be weeded out later. And Zhang Shuyi says, don't worry, Cynthia mentioned that persistence and hard work are also very important to one's cultivation. Luo Shu thinks, is he comforting me? And the Zhang Shuyi looks at Luo Shu with confused face. And Luo Shu get blushed while seeing him and asks, well, now that you look prettier than most girls, have you ever received love letters from others? I mean, from girls. Of course, boys don't count. He gets negative feelings from Yiling. He thinks, there must be some sort of misunderstanding, and she feels wronged and thinks, I am supposed to be one of the main characters, but why did I have to keep my silence all the time? While looking at Zhang Shuyi, suddenly, door burst open and Cynthia comes in, and calls the name Li Qingyu. With serious face she asks, please come out for a second. Luo Shu thinks, well, and the Li Qingyu says, okay. He thinks, did something happen? One student asks, it's been a while since Li Qingyu was asked out. Another one says, I wonder how he is now. And someone says, look, he is back. Li Qingyu opens the door and comes in class. With depressed face, someone exclaim, looks like we have some bad news. Have you heard about it? Someone from class 2 has been expelled from school because he violated the confidential regulations. Another student says, someone in their class was awakened when he's being lectured. Luo Shu listened to them while sipping his drink. Another one says, and then he was directly taken away by the people in black. Luo Shu thinks, people in black, is it their tradition to take awakeners away? He smiles, and tells, why would he do that? Why leak our physique rankings? Anyone who does that would be expelled. And Li Qingyu get horrified, and he evilly laughs, and tells, leaking, expelled. Because of that, Li Qingyu cries, and grabs his head, and says, no, no, with panic face, and runs away, while saying, stop talking, Luo Shu, you bastard, and runs outside the classroom. Luo Shu thinks, well, I guess it's true. One student asks, hey, why did you just say that to provoke him? Luo Shu types in his phone, and thinks, well, I think it's because your negative feelings lay the foundation of my success. At dusk, in the vital class, Cynthia says, this book only introduced the fundamental knowledge. Does anyone know? While looking at Luo Shu, and asks, does anyone know what sodium is? Luo Shu tells, a sodium is something contains sodium. System collects negative feelings from Cynthia 51. She says, I'll just tell you, Luo Shu thinks, so, she just skipped raising a question since she worries that we'd provide some stupid answers. Cynthia explains, 17 months ago, the superpower gets awakened and there is an increasing number of awakeners. The world has changed. This is the sodium-potassium alloy. When the superpower gets awakened, many metals have new functions. Some may even make destructive weapons. Metals aren't the only things that changed. As the superpower gets awakened, more and more materials are bestowed with new characters. All those materials will become important to your cultivation. They are not as great as a divine weapon, but they can be produced in large quantities as they can be replaced. You will get the chance of having those weapons in the future, but of course, only some of you will get the chance. Luo Shu thinks, I wonder if my lottery system can give me a divine weapon, but why do I feel that I only got a crappy system which only offers me weird things? While in his home at night, he thinks, well, if I can sell 50 portions of stinky tofu, I could earn 250 yuan, and then I'll treat Luo Xiao with a movie. I've got so much of them. He sits at the center of all stinky tofu boxes, and spins and thinks, why can't you give me something else? Lottery system. Ding, a cultivation trick comes out from the system with golden light, and he gets excited and shouts, I am super lucky today, and try to take it. But that golden paper falls away from him, and he tries to grab, and at the same time Luo Shu comes and asks, what are you doing? Golden paper flies at Luo Xiao, she gets shocked, and the golden paper went in her body, surrounds her body with golden energy. After that, they both fell into silent, and she get panicked. Luo Shu tells, don't panic, that will not harm you, she tells while crying. What are you talking about? How can I not panic when I got attacked by a glowing piece of paper in the chest? He tells, don't be afraid yet, now feel if there's any difference in your body. She tries to feel, and Luo Shu tells, calm down and concentrate, tell me what you see. She closes her eyes and says, I see a galaxy in my chest. There are 7 stars in the galaxy, and the stars looks weird, some black energy gathering in her body, and she says, they are observing something like some black holes. He takes out a fruit and tells, you should eat this fruit now, and she gets excited and tells, wow, a fruit. He tells, I guess it'll work. She tries to eat that fruit, but suddenly fruit transform into a liquid form, and goes up. She asks, what does that mean? Come back. They both look up, and suddenly the liquid energy falls in Luo Shu's head, and smoke comes out from his head. She gets mad, and asks, damn it, Luo Shu, give me back my fruit. He thinks, it seems that Luo Shu's body resists the star fruits. There is no pattern on her palm as well. She slaps him with same hand. He puts stinky tofu in her mouth, and tells, go away. My cultivation trick was gone because of you. He thinks, that's odd. It seems that Luo Xiao body can naturally absorb energy, unless, and he asks, right Luo Xiao, did your galaxy tell you to do something? For example, singing? She tells, no, why do I need to sing? And he gets petrified. She asks, am I unawakened as well now? He tells with no expression, well, you are. Now leave me alone. In his room lies in his bed, and thinks, what a crappy system. Why doesn't she have to sing the lullaby? I can't let Luo Xiao surpass me. While thinking, he closes his eyes. He tries to absorb the star energy. He thinks, I needed to light up the 6th star tonight. From the moon energy flows into Luo Shu's room. Second day in the morning, he wakes up and talks to himself. Yeah, finally, I did it. But why do I feel no difference? Well, he takes the knife into his hand, and try to check his strength by cutting his hand. But he hesitates to try. He shouts out loud, damn it, I'll do it, come on. And he hits his hand with full force. The knife cracks into pieces but his hand looks fine. He thinks, that's awesome, and talks out loud, now I must have reached level E. Luo Xiao gets irritated because of loud sound. He knocks the door of Luo Xiao and calls, are you up Luo Xiao? Check your galaxy now to see if anything changed. Let me tell you. She comes out her room with irritated face. Luo Shu tells that, don't think about the time. I lit up 6 stars in my galaxy. He laughs and tells, don't be sad about it. I can wait for you if you need me to. She tells, 3 stars are completely dark. He gets petrified because what he hears, and thinks, she's making a faster progress than me even by sleeping. She yawns. He tells that, the tomatoes are ready to be picked up. Let's have noodles for breakfast, and she get excited. He thinks, I feel a little ashamed. At least there are great tomatoes. Someone is talking to Andy Lin. We'll say goodbye here Andy Lin. He thinks, Andy Lin is having a guest. That man looks familiar. That guy says, I will come again when the ruins reopen again. Thank you so much for your help for now. Luo Shu talks to himself. He is the one from the temple fire. What is he doing here? Suddenly he feels a powerful energy. It's coming from Andy Lin's house. He thinks, someone with real power is inside. Luo Shu sees and thinks, is he staring at me? What are you doing? Stop looking at me. Just go if you have to. Never mind, I better stay out of trouble and just go. Ji Wei sees and talks. Wait a second. Luo Shu thinks, what is he doing? Does he want to fight? Will I be able to beat him if he starts fighting with me? Ji Wei comes at him, and Luoshu looks back, and thinks, is moving. Damn it, I'll give it a shot. Ji Wei prepares his hand. Also Luoshu covers his hand with energy, looks back, and drops the tomatoes, and get ready to fight him. But, Ji Wei just try to shake Luoshu's hand, and greet him. Hello, I am so glad to meet you. Ji Wei thinks, humph, I am prepared this time. He imagined in his mind like this, I am so glad to meet you. Luoshu asks, how glad? As glad as you are. And Luoshu dumbfounds. Ji Wei laughs, but contrary to his imagination. Luoshu asks, you? Why are you glad? Ji Wei dumbfounds. He thinks, well, how can he? It's nuts the conversation that I prepared for, and they both stare at each other. Luoshu thinks, the power in the room is so strong, I can't see it, but I can feel it obviously, I should go. He picks up the dropped tomatoes, and thinks, it's not a good place to stay. Ji Wei stands there speechless. Luoshu goes in, and huffs 3 times. Luoxiao asks, why are you breathing so heavily? It's only been a little while since you left. He says, hush, an awakener is living next door. She asks, then old man? Yes, and I think is pretty tough. I've never felt that way. She says, that sounds like a movie scene when any evil boss rests in the countryside. Don't worry, Luoshu. I'll work hard on cultivation and protect you. He says, well, thank you for doing that, and thinks, all of a sudden, he exposed himself today. It seems that he want to get exposed. On the second day, Luoshu says, while patting her head, bye Luoxiao, be good at home, she says, bye. He talks to himself. Well, is it okay to only sell stinky tofu? Suddenly he feels a powerful energy surrounding him, and looks at that side. There is a grandpa's wielding sword, and his stands in a position and releases his energy. Luoshu thinks, so powerful. Suddenly, the grandpa gathers all his energy at tip of his sword, and thrushes. Luoshu thinks, this must be at least level C. No, it's level B, and leaves releases some smoke, and grandpa puts back his sword into his sheath, and greets, hi, good morning Luoshu. He asks, what are you practicing so early in the morning? Grandpa says, I am practicing my sword, while showing his sword. Luoshu thinks, obviously, anyone with eyes can see that, and he tells, well, I needed to go, bye. But grandpa stops him. Wait a second, Luoshu. Auntie Lin looks back and tries to say something but stops. Grandpa asks, can I speak with you for a second? Our video ends here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.